friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're talking about a new Guerlain Terracotta product, and I have a bunch of Guerlain products, so we're just going to do a beautiful get ready with me with this brand. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As you know, I have my online beauty consulting service, which is where you get the chance to talk to me one-on-one through a Zoom chat, and I have a half hour and a full hour session available. So if you have an extensive makeup collection and you just want a fresh set of eyes, that is the perfect reason to book a consultation. So go ahead and use the link down below. Okay, so I think we might go ahead and just do a full face with Guerlain here because I went shopping in person last week. I went to the Guerlain counter at Holt Renfrew here in Montreal, and I spoke to Laurence. She's the counter manager at Guerlain. I will leave her contact information down below because she's very friendly, very helpful, and she helped me pick out some items. So if you live in the area or if you live in Canada, I would assume she could ship to you. Even, I don't know if she can ship worldwide, but definitely within Canada. If you need a Guerlain expert or Guerlain help, she is wonderful and very knowledgeable about the brand. So I picked up the new Terracotta Light bronzer here. This is the Sun-Kissed Healthy Glow Powder with 96% naturally derived ingredients. I have the shade here Light 03 Medium Warm. There is also a coinciding terracotta brush, which I also picked up, and I will be doing a demonstration here with you guys today. Now, when it comes to Guerlain Terracotta, I am new-ish to this product here. I know that this is a cult status, cult favorite for many people, and for many people when it comes to bronzers, only Guerlain will do, which I totally understand. So from what I understand, this pattern here is a new formulation in a sense. Previously, the terracotta bronzers were in a sunburst, I was told, like sun rays. But with the new creative director, Violette FR, she felt that this sort of leopard spotted pattern would actually be better for application. With the research and development, they found that this layout here of the bronzers, the dark, the light, the pop of color depending on the shade that you get, and the little bit of highlighter, this pattern here actually is better for application and offers just a more smooth, seamless color and perhaps less patchy or streaky. So that's what I was told. So when you pick up one of these bronzers here, there are 7 to choose from, so it is inclusive. It goes much lighter and much darker, and you will get a combination of a darker bronzer, a lighter bronzer, you will get a highlighter, and then almost like a blush color. And so when you apply this, listen, you could go in with a tiny brush and only use certain ones for spot coloring if you choose, or you can go ahead and swirl your brush around for a very luminous, glowy look. And I was told to apply this, you know, in the 3 shape, but also pass it on the bridge of your nose, so as if you've been out in the sun, because when you do go out in the sun, you do get a bit of color here on your nose. So we're going to go ahead and use this today, but I also got some samples here. The first few samples here I got are skincare. And I got some samples here of the fortifying lotion, so the toner with the royal jelly. I will definitely try these out because I have several samples of this. Now, the problem I have with Guerlain skincare is the more I try it, the more I love it. This is how it has started for me with Guerlain skincare. This is how I became addicted to the Youth Watery Oil. And now they're in the Youth Watery Oil serum line. There is a new scalp and hair product. So this is the sample here, and it looks like the Youth Watery Oil bottle, but this is for your hair, and it's not for the ends of your hair, it's for your scalp. It's like a scalp fortifying hair treatment. So I will give these a try, and hopefully, fingers crossed, in a few weeks, I might be going for a Guerlain facial. I am very excited for that. If I do go, I will be sure to bring you guys along with me. And I also have a couple samples here of the Essentiel foundation, but the matte version, because I know that there is a luminous, glowy finish, like l'essentiel natural glow. She gave me a sample of the one that has a more matte finish with a 24-hour wear. She said that the matte version just lasts longer and holds up longer, so she recommended the matte version, and she said that the matte one, it isn't drying, it's sort of just like a soft matte. So we're going to go ahead and do a full face with these samples here. So again, if you need help with Guerlain, I would definitely contact Laurence. She's very friendly. And aussi, elle est bilingue. Ça fait que si vous voulez du service en français, elle peut vous aider. So we're going to go ahead and do that today, because this bronzer here, technically it's a bronzer, but I'm going to go ahead and use it on my eyes a little bit, because I am just channeling a very French mood today with my outfit, with my whole look. I just want to feel like I'm on vacation, and I am just doing a very easy, very chic, effortless makeup look. So because I'm doing something very light, I'm actually going to do the face first. Normally I always do eyes first, but because the eyes will be so light and so very sheer, we're going to do face first. Now, Laurence did give me 2 samples of the Essentiel Matte Foundation. I have the 35N and then the 40N. So these are just the little samples here. They looked very similar in person at the store. That's why she gave me the samples here, just because it's hard to judge, you know, in the store with the lights and with the mask. So she was like, just try these at home. The 35N is lighter, and that's described as a beige, and then the 40N is a medium. But I think honestly, like in person, they looked very close. Like we just swatched around here and they looked very close. So I will do a half face. I will do 40 on this side and 35N, and you can vote down below and tell me which one looks better. And before I forget, I have a perfume that I will share my thoughts on at the end, and I will be sure to provide swatch comparisons of the bronzer in particular. And I wanted to mention also the Guerlain points system. So if you're not familiar, I don't know if this is just Canada or other Guerlain boutiques, but if you shop at a Guerlain counter or boutique, you actually have a points system, and they don't expire. So they don't like renew, or they do keep going. Like, you know, sometimes with a point system, after 1 year, it just erases and you start over from 0. Not with these, it's just accumulates over the years. And when you keep purchasing from the boutique, you can actually redeem them for products like perfume, skincare, candles, etc. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So far I have 8,000 points. But I'm thinking, like, if you look down here, you can actually redeem it for like a whole whack of points for like a beautiful bottle here. So I think I'm just gonna keep saving up, and maybe I'll spend it on this gorgeous bottle here. It just looks so amazing. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. So again, this side here, I will apply 40. And then this side here is 35. Interesting. It almost looks like the 35 looks darker. I don't know. I know that Guerlain is about to have a lot of new makeup releases this year, specifically with makeup. Like, I know Guerlain, first of all, it's a perfume house. Secondly, it's skincare, and then it's makeup lastly. But with their new makeup director, Violette FR, we are going to see a lot of new makeup innovation from the brand. So I am very excited for that. The only thing that I don't have of Guerlain for a full face is a concealer and a mascara. I tried the Mad Eyes mascara. I wasn't a big fan, so I didn't purchase it full size. And the concealer, I haven't tried yet. So it'll be like a 90% full face of Guerlain. Okay, so I'm confused. Maybe we just accidentally labeled the foundations wrong, because technically this is the 40 and this is the 35, but I think this side is a little bit darker. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let's give it a second for it to just sort of adapt to my skin. But I think that this looks really nice. Like, it isn't that super drying matte. I think I have this idea that matte foundations are very drying and are cakey sometimes, but this looks and feels like it looks luminous. You know, it's funny, it's matte, but it offers some luminosity. So it's more like a soft velvet finish. And I would say that this is like a good medium coverage foundation. Like, it's definitely not heavy or cakey. And you saw the little like leopard prints that I put on my face here. So I would say it's like light to medium, and you could definitely add a bit more. I think I may add a bit more because I have a little bit of splotchiness on the side for some reason. So let me know what you think. But as I'm sitting here, I feel like the foundation is sort of just setting in, not setting in like in a bad way, but just sort of, you know, melting into my skin, and they look pretty close to each other. They look quite identical, but I still think I prefer the one that's a little bit darker as the foundation. Let me know in the comments. Now I'm going into my Meteorite Pearls Compact. I have number 2. I wonder if I should get a darker one because I still have a tan. So I'm just going to swirl this around, knock off the excess. Okay, moving on to something that unfortunately is really hard to find. These are the Meteorite Pink Pearls. It's literally a blush in the Meteorite Pearls canister. These came out, I think, last spring. They were really hard to find. I think I shopped through Harrods or Selfridges, some sort of UK retailer. If Guerlain came out with a blush series permanent in this format, it would be amazing because these are beautiful. I love them. It's just unfortunate that they're not readily available. I don't know why. They definitely should. They're gorgeous. I'm just going to add a little bit of color to my cheeks. Not too much because I do want to go in with quite a bit of bronzer, but just, you know, enough to say that I did. All right, now let's go into this beautiful bronzer one last time. Let's look at it while it is pristine and untouched. So what I'm going to do is just using this brush here, I'm just gonna give it like a nice little sweep through. I'm sort of just pressing it in here because I'm trying to preserve it, but it'll get used up eventually. I just want to keep it looking pristine. The bristles of this brush here, they're dense, but they're not too dense. It's a nice softness too. So it feels nice just to sort of buff in the color here. The one annoying part, I mean, there are many annoying parts to having curly hair, but one of them is that baby hairs always try to join in on the fun when you're applying bronzer. So what you can do is, as you apply color here, you can just sort of lightly tap it onto the bridge of the nose, like you just came in from a beach day. What I can do is do a swatch of all the colors here individually, because we do have several shades. Like there's the darker bronzer, lighter bronzer, the highlighter, the more blush color. And like I said, every compact has a different shade for the blush. Sometimes it's more cool, more pink. I like this sort of like tangerine peach color. I think it's just really nice for a summer glow. So let me go ahead and just do those swatches on the back of my hand. So the swatches are lightest bronzer, darkest bronzer, the blush color, and then the highlighter. When you see them all swatched side by side, they do look very close to each other. So don't worry about swiping your brush here just to apply it evenly. It will look very harmonious, very in unison, like it's not going to stand out. Obviously, when you see it here in the leopard print pattern, it looks different, but obviously when you see it swatched together, it just looks like a beautiful mixture together. I'm going to go ahead and use a Rephr Fluffy blending brush number 15 And I'm just going to go like this, very lightly. I'm knocking off most of it here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the bronzer here into the crease. The point of this is not to look like, wow, she has bronzer on her eyes. No, it's just to bring a little bit of the cheek color onto the eyes. And then I have a Mad Eyes Duo Shadow Stick from Guerlain. This is the one that's sort of a deep plum and then a shiny gold champagne color. I'm only using the light champagne color and placing a little bit on the inner corner and under the brow bone. For the mascara, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of the Chanel Volume Mascara. You know, I think if you wanted to, you could go ahead and skip extra blush when you use this bronzer here, the Terracotta. I think that adding the blush is fine, but on its own, it's probably enough. So just keep that in mind if you want. And then I'm going to add a lip, of course. I'm using a Guerlain Le Rouge G Velvet. This case here, it's gorgeous. I think it's burgundy. Everything will be listed in the description box down below, but I love this gorgeous velvet case here. And this shade here is number 1925, Roi des Rouges. It is just the most gorgeous, warm, orangey red. It's beautiful. Hold on, I'll show you. I mean, come on. This look, this entire makeup look, this outfit, I am ready for Paris in the springtime. Now I will finish it off with a fragrance, and then we will go into swatch comparisons, final thoughts, etc. Now, the perfume that I got here, unfortunately, I was told is being discontinued. How rude. This is the Guerlain, the Guerlain Coconut Fizz. So it's part of the Aqua Allegoria. These are the very light eau de toilette, eau de cologne type of fragrances. So very light, very fresh. You can definitely layer these. They're not going to be the most long lasting. It's not going to be like an eau de parfum or anything like that, but it's light, it's fresh, and Coconut Fizz in particular is one of my favorites. As the name would suggest, Coconut Fizz smells like coconut. It smells like the tropics. It has coconut, clearly, but it also has like a sort of milky quality to it. Also water. It smells crisp and like clear water. The blue color adds to it as well. It smells like turquoise water and white sandy beaches. And I think it is the nicest coconutty, beachy scent, because sometimes these types of perfumes can smell a little bit cheap and they can kind of turn, but something about this is also refined because there's a little bit of bergamot, there's a bit of vanilla, but not a lot. Like it's sweet, but not too sweet. It's just light. It's more fresh and light than a syrupy pina colada scent. It's just, it's gorgeous. If you like these types of fragrances, honestly, for summer, I think it's gorgeous. And I heard it's being discontinued, so I bought mine because I want to be able to be transported back to the Caribbean with the spray of a perfume. Now, let me go ahead and do a swatch of this bronzer here and then a bunch of the ones that I already own that I think would just be good as a comparison side by side for you at home. All right, we have our swatchy swatch of the Guerlain Terracotta. First up is Givenchy. This is the bronzer number 3. So what I will do for the comparisons, I'm going like this vigorously, and I will do like a swatch on the side like this for the bronzers that I'm comparing, just so we can have it compared side by side with the terracotta bronzer. So this is Guerlain here on top. Sort of similar, but I think that the terracotta one it's a bit darker. I mean, they're close, but I think the terracotta one has more of that apricot blush component to it. Moving on, we have Dior. We have the Forever Natural Bronze. This is number 5, a warm bronze. I think this one is going to be quite darker compared to it. Yeah, much darker. So this is Dior here. It almost looks cooler. It's called a warm bronze, but it looks like it has a bit more coolness to it. So hopefully all these swatches at home will help you out. I know they will. It's just sort of like a comparison with what you already own. Then I have the Chanel Le Beige. This is Sunset. This is the one that came out, I think last summer. No, I think the summer before, for the Le Beige collection here. So I'm running out of fingers. This one here, the Le Beige Sunset, almost looks more golden. It looks lighter. It doesn't look as dark, and I just see a lot more gold reflection here than anything else, which is interesting because I would think, you know, just off the bat that these are all going to be very similar, but I'm seeing some differences. Then we have the Gucci bronzer. This is number 3 as well. I don't know what it is with number 3, but I get a lot of these. I love the compact. I love this turquoise. I love this sort of like vintage inspired look here. Oh wow, this Gucci number 3 almost looks like the darkest one. It's the one at the bottom here. It definitely looks darker, but it has that same sort of like satiny, luminous finish. I would say all of them have a nice luminous finish, except for the Dior one on top looks more matte. I think that the Givenchy bronzer, the first one that I swatched, has more of that like healthy glow aesthetic, and the Chanel Le Beige, but the Chanel Le Beige that I swatched is really just like a gold more than bronze. I have a couple more. I have Chantecaille. This is the Serena bronzer. This one also looks darker and cooler, but the Serena bronzer has that soft, luminous glow to it. The texture is different. It's more like a baked jelly finish, or baked jelly texture, I should say. But the finish is still giving you luminous. But so far the terracotta bronzer is the only one that looks like it has like blush in it. And then my last one here is Tom Ford. This is the Terra bronzer here. Honestly, the Terra bronzer looks very light. It looks almost more cool toned compared. Let me just do a swatch closer underneath to the terracotta. Yeah, it looks more cool toned, but again, it has that same sort of finish where it's luminous, it's beautiful. Like, it's not glowy, it's not glittery by any means, but it sort of gives you that, like, you know, when you come back from the beach and you have a healthy tan and that healthy glow, that's sort of close to it. I think the Givenchy bronzer is the closest, the first one that I swatched here. I think just in hue, just compared to the rest, at first I was like, oh, it looks so different, but compared to everything else, I think Givenchy is the closest. And I think the Givenchy Healthy Bronzer is the closest in the finish to me, because the Givenchy Healthy Glow Bronzer, in my opinion, is like one of the most underrated beauty products on the market. And I think that that's the closest in like total healthy glow, luminous effect. But overall, I'm very happy with my purchase. I think this looks great. This is exactly what I wanted. Just this like very effortless, very beautiful, luminous, natural glow. Go ahead and use it on your eyes a little bit if you want. You could also just go ahead and use like different colors in the compact for eyeshadow, because they are small, and obviously an eyeshadow brush is smaller than a blush brush. So you could go ahead and just use different colors if you wanted to. I think going ahead and swirling your brush through is the best idea. I know we don't want to, because we want to preserve it because it looks so beautiful. The brush here that it comes with, or it doesn't come with, but it's sold separately. I really like it. I think it's just like really gorgeous for application. It's just the right size too. Like, it's not too big. It just sort of fits neatly into the creases where it needs to go. So I really like it. I think it's really nice. The foundations, especially now that I have like powders, bronzers, blush, etc., I think they look really, really close to each other. I honestly can't really tell much of a difference in the foundation colors. I think the finish is nice. I definitely think I might purchase this full size later on because it is just like a really beautiful natural foundation. So I think I actually do like matte finish foundations. I think perhaps in the past I've just tried ones that were way too drying, but this one is nice. So overall, I'm a big fan of this terracotta release. I think it's beautiful. I love the new leopard print. I just think it looks nice. I feel like you can see the colors differentiated a bit more. It's just a bit more obvious, the color selection that you have. So I like that. And yeah, I think it's great. For me, it puts me in like the perfect summer mood. That's why I picked up Coconut Fizz. I'm like, yes, terracotta, bronzer, summer. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for warmer months. So sound off in the comments below. Have you picked this up yet? Are you waiting for warmer months? I feel like, you know, makeup is always at least one whole season ahead of actual seasons. So I think very shortly we will start seeing waves of bronzers coming out, and this one here is just gorgeous. I love the polka dot leopard pattern. I just really like it. I think it's nice. I think it looks beautiful. I like my little Parisian, very French makeup look today. So leave a comment below. If you're not subscribed yet, I highly, highly encourage you to do so. I talk about nothing but luxury beauty, and I reuse a lot of my makeup. So I will keep using and reusing these products in new ways, and I definitely help you out to think of more inventive ways to use up your makeup at home. So if you're not subscribed, you should definitely do that. And for those of you interested, I have a beauty history series on my channel where I take a deep dive into a fashion or beauty house that's important in the makeup world. And I did one on Guerlain, the perfume house. So if you want to watch that, I will leave a link down below. I know not everyone who watches my makeup videos watches beauty history, but for those of you watching who watch my beauty history videos, leave a comment down below. Leave a review, leave like a testimony, because these documentaries, like, I know I'm biased, but they're amazing. I mean, if you ever wanted to learn anything about these giant names in the beauty and fashion world, like, I have done intensive research and I think it's fascinating. So I think you should give it a watch. All right, I think that is it for today. That is the end of my video. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.